Okay.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go look for your thing, Ernie. Where's your key? Just give me your key to your car so I can get it out of your car.
All right.
Kuchav Zion 127 Masechta Shabbos.
Okay.
The boy afilu tuva nami v'fanim. That you can clear more than 4 or 5, because according to Shmuel, when you said 4 or 5, you weren't really being specific. It's like people say 1s and 2s, 2s and 3s.
Down the hall. I can hear you down.
So really, you can clear more. Umaya v'losa otzerson. What did the Mishnah mean? If you can clear everything, why are you limited? You can't do the whole warehouse. Shelo yigmor kula means you can't finish it. You can't finish sort of removing boxes out of a storehouse, because then the floor will be revealed. Dilma osila shvui gumos, and you will fill up the holes, and you'll be over for bonet. Avalat chule matchil. But you can remove boxes even from a warehouse that's never been used before. Umani Rab Shimon he the lesle muktzah. It's Rab Shimon because he holds there's no muktzah. Ton Rabbanon ein matchilin ba'otzer tchila. A warehouse that's never been used, you don't start emptying a warehouse like that.
I'm just on the Zoom share.
Aval also boshvil kadeshi kanis v'yetzi. But you can use your foot and kick and move this things aside to make a path that you could walk through it. So, Osa Boshvil, how could you say you can make a path? You told me you can't go into a store that's never been opened before and start taking it. So how could you say you could make a path? This is what you mean. Osa Boshvil, Baragla, Bechnisosovitzioso. Means you don't use your hands, you use your feet to kick the boxes sort of and make up a pathway when you enter that area. Torabon. Tvua tzvura. You have grain that's been piled up. Bisman shehischel b'am erev Shabbos. If you have begun using this grain from this pile, erev Shabbos, then mutar listapik b'erev Shabbos. You can continue to use that pile the rest of Shabbos, because the pile clearly has been designated not muktzah because you started using it already before Shabbos. However, the imlav also listapik b'erev Shabbos. If you did not start using grain from that pile before Shabbos, you can't use it. The Rab Shimon. Now, this seems a little weird because Rab Shimon is the one who's very lenient regarding muktzah. And then it says Ravacha matir. In fact, the Gemara says klapa lie. That doesn't make any sense. Rav Shimon throughout Masechta Shabbos is the one that doesn't hold of muktzah. So in fact, Ela Ema div Ravacha. That means the one who prohibits is Ravacha. Rav Shimon matir, which fits the general tendency of Rav Shimon to be lenient. Tana, so the Gemara explains, what does it mean, a piled up area of grain? Kamashir tvua tzvura, letech, which is 15 saw or half a cord, says Rashi. Boiner of the Chumi Bar Zachariah Me'abaya, shear tvura b'tzvura b'kama, how much is the shear of piled grain? Omer lei, hare omru, shear tvura l'tzvura letech, it's a letech, which we said is 15 saw. Iboilu. Hani arba v'chamesh kupos tekom, that which you said, if guests are coming, you have a warehouse, and you want to seat them in that warehouse. So you can move, we said 4 or 5 boxes. Now, does that mean arba v'chamesh kupos in tfelo? That means you can't move. Yes?
Your internet is coming and going.
It is? You're not hearing me?
Now I am, but it comes on, in and on and off.
Oh, I was getting it okay.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I'm
All
fine
right.
too.
I was
Yeah.
getting fine, Mario. Maybe your internet's no good.
Okay.
Now it's okay.
Okay. So is it dafka means 4 or 5 and not anymore? Even though it might be a very heavy load. And therefore, it seems like, are you saying that it's better to reduce the number of trips you have to take, even though it's a heavy box? Maybe they allow you to go 10 or 15 or 20 times. But if you can do that, if the boxes are lighter. So what's more important, less trips or less weight? Toshma. Tani Chada, Mefanin afilu arba v'chamesh kupos shel kadei shemen v'shel kadei yain. Says, if you have boxes filled of jugs of wine or oil, you could move those. The Tanya Yidich, there's another baraisa that says be'eser u'v'chamesh esrei, that 10 or 15. That means if you've stored jugs of wine or oil, even in 10 or 15 boxes, you can move those. So my lav b'hav kamiflagi, what's the machlokes? The marsavami utibi hulukachad adif. I would rather you take 5 boxes, even though it's heavier. Umar savami utibi masui adif. No, fill the boxes up with less amount and take 10 to 15 trips. The Gemara says low. That's not the point of the machlokes. The kulama utibi lucha adif. Really, everybody agrees that they want you to walk less times. Umi savris be'eser v'chamesh asrei akupos. It doesn't mean take 10 or 15 boxes. It means it means fill up the boxes with 10 or 15 of them, making them heavier, so you don't have to walk so you reduce the number of times you walk. And lo kasha, the brises are not contradictory. You could have a jug that is so large that you have to have a large box for it. But when it says that you could take 10 or 15 jugs, these are where you could put maybe two or three jugs in a box. And the one that said you could take 15 or 20, maybe you could put 3 or 4 jugs in a box. Like these are jugs that came from a certain place, harpanya, which were small jugs. That's which we said you have 4 or 5. You can only take 4 or 5. That means you have a maximum limit of 4 or 5, no matter if you have a lot of guests. Maybe it's 4 or 5 depending on how many guests. Maybe you could take even more if there were more guests. And maybe you'll tell me yes. You could take, it depends on the number of guests. And maybe it's 5 boxes per guest. Does each person have to do it themselves, or one person can clear for everybody? Right? Each person has to do it for themselves, or maybe one person can do it from everybody. So the Gemara tries to bring a proof from a baraisa. Toshma. Rabbi Nasi, went to give a drasha. There was a very small area for the students. He found a field that was full of bundles of grain. And Rebbe cleared all the grain so that the Talmidim could sit. It's more than 4 or 5. So this seems to be a proof that it depends on how many guests you have. Rav Yosef Rabbi Shea Pamachas Halach Reb Chia L'Mokom Echad. It was Reb Chia. The Ra Mokom Dochel Talmidim, and he found a place that was too crowded. The Yotzel Sodom Matzah Sodom Leah Omrim. The Imer Reb Chia Kol Asada Kula. They also found a field full of bunches of produce, and he cleaned it as well. Shma mina kol afi orchim. That seems to be proof that it depends on how many guests you have. Now, I didn't boil chad gavra final kula. You wanted to know whether one person could clean for everybody, or each one has to do themselves. Toshma. I'll bring you a proof because it says Imir Rebbe. Rebbe was the one who cleared it. So you see, one person did it for everybody. So Gemara says that doesn't make any sense. Rebbe was the Gadol Ador. Rebbe's going to go out and clear all of these things for the students. Can't be. Elat Siva v'Imer. Rebbe gave a command that it should be cleaned. Each student cleared 5 boxes for his own space. Okay. Since we talked about Orchim, welcoming guests is like coming to the yeshiva early. Same schar. It linked together coming to the yeshiva, not wasting time, learning all the time, and welcoming guests. It's even more important than coming to yeshiva early. The Mishnah listed Hachmas Zorchim before Bittul Beis HaMedrash, so it seems like it's more important. Welcoming guests in your home is more important than even being makabel Pnei Shechina. Because it says by Avram, Vayomer Hashem, Imna motzos ichein beinecha, al na ta'avor me'al avdecha. This is Hashem appearing to Avram when he's in the tent after his Milah. And Avram asked Hashem to wait for him a little bit because he's got to go receive the Orchim. So you see, Gdoilach, Nazis Orchim, Agbos Nashchim. The way of Hashem is different than a human being. Midas Basar Adam, Ein Cotton Yocholomer Lagadol Amtenat Shavo Etzlecha. A minor functionary cannot tell his superior, wait for me until I get there. That wouldn't happen. Either HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ksiv Vayomer Hashem Im No Matzasi. But you see, Avram, HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't see it as an affront that Avram wanted to take care of the Orchim first. There are 6 things when you do them, you benefit in this world, you get schar in the next world. Eluhein. Hachnasas orchim. You get benefit in this world as well. Ubikr cholim. Iyun tefillah, meaning you understand, either having good kavana, or that you understand what you're saying. Mashkamas Beis HaMedrash, coming to learn early in the morning. V'magadol bana l'tamid Torah, one who raises his children and sends them to yeshiva. V'adan es chaver l'kav zchus. You always see you always judge a person favorably. You assume that he's innocent. You assume that whatever he's doing is correct. More says, it's not so. Vanantnan. We have another Mishnah. Elu dvarim shalom oisam v'ochel person b'ol mazeh v'keren kemet l'olam haba. It lists those things that you benefit in this world as well as in the next world. The elu en kibud avayim, milus chasodim, right? Honoring parents, milus chesed, avosh shalom shebenam v'chaver, making peace between people. V'talmud Torah keneged kulam. Meaning hani in midiachrini lo, but we mentioned other things in the previous baraisa, like hachnasas orchim and bikur cholim, hashkamas Beis HaMedrash. How come these things aren't mentioned in this baraisa? Hani nami b'hani shaychi. It's included. Either it's included in Gmilos Chasodim, and Gmilos Chasodim includes all the other things that were detailed in the previous parasha. Ton Rabba. Adana chavir l'chav zchus, dan and also l'zchus. If a person gives a person a benefit of the doubt, he judges him that he's innocent. So he as well will be judged favorably as well. A person went from the north in the Galil. He's thank you, Susie. Thank you very much.
What happened to the picture?
It's here. One second.
The vodka? What is it?
Just lemonade.
Hmm.
He went to work for a balabayas in the south for 3 years. Erev Yom Kippurim, Amar lo, tein li schori ve'elech va'ozen sishtu v'anai. The worker asked the balabayas, give me my wages. I want to go home and provide parnasa for my family. Amar lo ein li mos. So the balabayas said, I don't have any money. So the worker said, Amar lo ten li peiros. Amar lo ein li. The balabayas said, I don't have fruit. He said, ten li karka. So the balabayas said, ein li. Ten li behema. Balabayas said, give me animals. He said, ein li. Ten li karmik soses. Give me pillows and sheets. Ein li. Okay. Hivshul kelev la'achrav. The worker put his belongings behind him and went home. Halach lebeso b'pachei nefesh. He was depressed. Achar regel. After Sukkot, Nadal balabais schar biyado. The balabais did not forget his worker, took all the wages with him, the imo mosli shloisha chamorim, and also brought him donkeys that were laden with heavy load. Echad shel Michael, echad shel Mishte, echad shel Min Megadim. Food, drink, and special foods. And the owner went to the house of the worker. And they ate and drank, and he paid him. Armelo, Shasha Martoli Tainli Schori. Vamarti Ainli Mos. Bamechajatani. He asked the worker, when you asked me for your wages, I said I didn't have any money, did you suspect me of anything? He treated him as kafschus. He said, you're a businessman. Maybe a good deal came to you and you had cash, and the deal was a cash-only deal, and you got a great deal by paying cash, and you were short of cash at that time. Fine. When you ask me for animals, and I said I didn't have animals. Did you suspect me of anything? Maybe you rented or leased out these animals to some other people. You don't have them right now. When you asked me for land, and I told you I didn't have any land to give you, what did you think? Omarti. So the worker answered, Shema muchkeres bi'aracherimi. Same thing. The land is rented to sharecroppers. You didn't have any land. When I said I didn't even have any grain or fruit to give you as your payment, what did you think at that time? Yes, maybe you didn't get a chance to give to the Kohen and to the Levi Meiser, and that's why you don't have produce that's free and clear. When I said I never eat pillows or sheets, what did you think then? Maybe you donated all your assets to Kodesh Baruch Hu. He says, wow, that's exactly what happened. He darti kosai bishvil hukern b'nish lo. I had a son. He wanted to disinherit him. Disinherit your child is you could donate all of your assets to the base of Mikdash. And he'd given away all his assets to the base of Mikdash. When I came to my other colleagues that also live in the south, he tirli called Nadorai. They did Hatoras Nadorim for the netter that I made to give away my assets. So you see, atak shem shadanti l'schus, hamokim yodin oschus. Just like you treated me innocently, you didn't have bad thoughts about me. HaKadosh Baruch, he gave him a blessing. HaKadosh Baruch should have the same thing. Should treat you l'kav schus as well. Ton Rabbanon, ma'aseh b'chasid echad, shepot riva achas bas Yisrael. There was a girl who was taken captive by pirates, and there's a mitzvah of pidyon shvuyim, and a certain chassid
Pay the ransom.
paid the ransom to bring the girl back. V'lamolon hishkiva tachas margalosov. So when they were bringing the girl back, they were staying in a hotel, and the girl slept like under his feet, like under the bed. So this Rebbe, the next morning woke up, went to the mikveh, and gave the shir. When he asked the students, when I told the girl to sleep here, under my bed or by my feet, did you suspect me of anything? Perhaps the Rebbe didn't know one of the Bachrim well enough, and he was concerned to leave the girl with the Bachrim because hanky-panky would go on there. So he would rather keep him with him. That's what the students, they also were don their Rebbe lekavschus. Now, why did he go to the mikveh in the morning? So one could remember, one of the reasons people went to the mikveh was because they were a Balkari. So the Rebbe is asking the students, did any of you suspect me that when I went to the mikveh, did anybody have some suspicion about me at the time? Or no, because people would get a seminally mission when they would travel long distances due to the exertion. So that's what we thought. And the Rebbe said, yes, that's exactly what happened. Just like you treated me, you gave me the benefit of the doubt on all these issues, Hashem should treat you the same way. Whenever they talk about a matronisa, it's like a matron. It was usually a Roman woman who was important in the government, and someone had to go ask her something, maybe a favor. The Roman senators. This was a wealthy woman. She would probably entertain them, have parties, and therefore she was an important woman for the Chachamim. Amru miyelech. So the Talmid Chachamim said, who should we send? Rabbi Yeshua ani elech. Rabbi Yeshua volunteered. Halach Rabbi Yeshua v'Talmidah. Rabbi Yeshua and the Talmidim went. Kevin Shagila Pesach Beisa. When Rabbi Yeshua got to her house, Cholat Tfilah Berichu Garba Amos. He removed his tefillin within 4 amos of her house. V'nichtas v'nol adelos b'fneim. And then he went into the house, closed the door, so the Talmidim couldn't go in. When he came out, he went again to the mikveh and taught the shir to the Talmidim. When I took off my tefillin. Now, one of the reasons to take off the tefillin was maybe he was going to have relations with her. So, did you suspect me of that? I don't know, because Rabbi Lo Yikan, so Divrei Kedusha B'Akom Tumah. This is a place that probably has statues of Avodah Zarah. You took off your Dover Shabbat before walking into a Makom Tumah. Now, when I locked the door, and I didn't let you come in, were you choshid me? Maybe this is something of high government issue that you can't let us be aware of. And then I asked, when I went to the mikveh, were you suspicious of me? Maybe she spit on you and it landed on your garment, and the roke of a non-Jew is considered tumas zav, and that's why he went to the mikveh. He said, wow, that's exactly what happened. Just like you treated me favorably, Hashem should treat you favorably as well. Then it says, Mefanin Truma Tohora. It went through a list of things that if I had boxes of them, I could move them on Shabbos. And it said, Truma that's Tohora, I could move. So Pshita, I mean, the coin can eat it. Well, what's the big deal that I could move it? Of course it's not Muktzah. We're talking about the Truma is not by Harold or Peter. They're by a Yisrael. So the Yisrael can't eat it. So maybe it's Muktzah. No. Since I can invite a kohen over and feed him at my house, it's not Muktzah for me either. Then it says Udamai. That even if the box was full of Dmai, I'm allowed to move it. Frankly, more why? Halochazile. You can't eat Dmai. You can't eat Mai on Shabbos because you can't. Remember, Dmai, you have to give Meisers, Trumas and Meisers as a suffix, because Dmai is stuff that you bought from an Amaretz, where there was a suspicion that they didn't give Trumas and Meisers. So you can't be Mesaking something on Shabbos. It's correcting it. You can't give Trumas and Meisers on Shabbos. So Dmai should be Muktzah. You should not be able to move the Dmai. Kiven di boy mafkir say, because at any moment, a person could be mafkir his nechasim. Chazile, and as an oni, an oni can eat my Hashanami chazile, because since you have the ability to be mafkir your nechasim at any time, then, and it could be roy for you to eat it later at that point, then it's not, then it's roy now as well. That's not. Machilin es aniyim d'mai v'sachsanya d'mai. You can give aniyim d'mai, and if Roman soldiers are marching through the town and you are required to put them up in your house, you're allowed to give them d'mai as well. Beis Shammai learned that you could not feed the aniyim d'mai. However, Beis Hillel we said Meiser Rishon that you've also separated the Trumas Meiser. You can move it on Shabbos, it's not Muktzah. So Pshita, it's perfectly good food that you could eat. Lo tzricha sheikdimu b'shibolim. There is a time when you pile up the grain, 'when, there's a din that now you have to give trumas and maestros. And there's an order. First, you should give truma before you give meiser. But what he did is he separated the meiser before he gave truma. And then they gave the truma from the meiser. So technically, there's some stuff missing. Because lo nitle meant truma gedola. The truma gedola had not been separated when they separated that meiser. And this is the chiyadam Rav Amar Rav Lakish. Meiser rishon shigdiva b'shibolim potter mitruma gedola. Technically, you don't have to give truma gedola anymore. You cuffed Harold and Peter. But the din is it's potter. Shouldn't do it. But anyways, you have to go back and recompense them. The 2%, meaning if you start off with 100, normally Meister is 150, that's 2%. Then of the 98, you give 1/10. Here, they took 10 off the 100 directly. So the coin got cuffed. I don't have to do the Trumas Gedolah that I did not do before I gave the Meister. The Trumas Meister is enough. Let's say you finished. It's not by where it's the shibolim, where it's the stalks, but it's where you piled it up. Maybe you would be potter from Truma Gedola. Why would you say by the Shibolim it doesn't work, but by the Kri it works? Because ha idgin. Once you pile it up in a pile, it's called dogon. Then you can't get away from giving the Truma Gedola. But when it was by Shibolim, it's not called dogon. And therefore, the chiyuv truma gedola had not chal on it yet. Then we said Meiser Sheni that we normally, if you live in Tel Aviv and you harvested 10,000 grain, 10,000 bushels, so 1/10 of it is Meiser Sheni in the first, second, fourth, and fifth year of the Meiser cycle. That second tenth belongs to you. In the third and sixth year, that second tenth you give to the anim. It's called Meiser Ani. But in the first, second, fourth, and fifth year, the second tenth belongs to you. However, you have to go up to Yerushalayim and eat it. Now, let's say you're a big farmer in Tel Aviv. And it's hard for you to schlep all that grain to Yerushalayim to eat it. You're allowed to redeem it for money. And you got to pay a 20% excise tax. If the grain is worth $1,000, you got to convert the kedusha to $1,200. Then the grain you can eat in Tel Aviv. The $1,200 you bring to Yerushalayim and you buy food in Yerushalayim and you eat in Yerushalayim. So we said if you had Meiser Sheni in Tel Aviv in piles that was already nifdeh, and let's say you're in Yerushalayim, or let's say you bought new Meiser Sheni in Yerushalayim, or you had Meiser Sheni that you were nifdeh. So now in Tel Aviv the grain is not holy anymore. We said you're allowed to move those boxes for orchim. For the Gemara, well, of course, it's completely permitted to eat. Pshita. Lo tzricha shenosas akeres v'nosas zochomesh. The chiddush is, we're talking about somebody who didn't pay the extra $200. He only paid the $1,000. Hakamashman de ein chomesh ma'akev. Even though you didn't give the chomesh, the pidyon works, and you're allowed to eat it. And it's not muktzah. It's not ma'akev, the transferring of the kedusha. Then it said vaturmis vayovesh. These were whatever they are, turnips or whatever these dried foods are. The goats would eat them. And since you're required to feed your animals on Shabbos, it's also not muktzah. Davka yovesh, avalach lo. If it's got fluid, then it is muktzah. My time, akiva demor lo yachla. When they're not dry, it's it's bitter and the goats won't eat it, then there's no point in it because it's not human food. It's not animal food, so it's completely muktzah. Okay. Good Shabbos, everybody. Tomorrow we will learn at 9:15.
Good Shabbos.
Okay?
Shabbos. Okay.
9:15.
Shabbos.